Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of Phins News. In this episode, we'll be concluding our four-part series of the Miami Dolphins' upcoming 2022 NFL schedule. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? So, we ended the last part of the series against the San Francisco 49ers. I had us losing in a nail biter, but it could be a coin flip game. But either way, going into the last part of the schedule, the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion, will be 9-3 heading into the LA Chargers game, December 11th. Um, these are the 2 weeks that I'm really interested to see how Mike McDaniel is going to handle this, because they are both West Coast games. I'm assuming that he will stay on the West Coast, since I don't feel there's a point to go to San Francisco, fly back to Miami, and then a few days later fly back to LA. I just don't see that as a necessary travel, because the travel takes a big toll on a person's body, especially playing a physical game like the NFL. So I'm assuming they're going to stay somewhere in California, get their reps in practice, and get ready for the LA Chargers. It's going to be a tough game on the road. Got a great up and coming quarterback. Most experts are seeing Herbert get to that top 5 level this year, if he hasn't got there already. They added pieces on their defense. They have defensive playmakers all over the field. They really match up well with the Miami Dolphins. So I feel this game is it's gonna be a tough game for the Miami Dolphins. I do trust our defense more than their defense, but it's gonna be really close. The only thing that we cannot predict, obviously, is injuries, because we know the Chargers have always been hit with injuries really hard, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So who knows? It's the end of the year. Who knows who's going to be playing? But if everyone is healthy for the most part, it's gonna be a really physical game, and it's gonna come down to if our offense can outperform their defense. I feel that our defense is gonna give us chances to win almost every game on our schedule. Just how we didn't lose anyone, and we've even gained more pieces. So I have the utmost confidence in this defense to keep this close against. Even though Herbert is a superstar in the making, he's still a young quarterback, and our defense is great at confusing young quarterbacks. When we did face him his rookie year, it kind of was a no contest. Even though Tua was our starter, we kind of blew him out. If it wasn't for the bad snap that our center gave Tua when we were about to score and go up 3 touchdowns, and just let him back in the game because of that, it still really was never close. Our defense really handled business that week, and I look for more of the same in this game, because Herbert still is a young quarterback, and our defense is such a veteran group of guys that can confuse any young quarterback in this league, no matter how good he is, because they can even confuse veteran quarterbacks in this league, as we've seen. So it's going to be a close game, I believe. I feel that the Chargers are probably going to win this game on another nail biter. We're going to lose another close one. That's going to move our record to 9-4. I'm predicting a 28-27 victory by the Chargers. They go down the field and get last points to win the game. But either way, it gives us hope as Dolphin fans, seeing how close this team was for beating a really good up and coming team on the road. It was close throughout. Our offense played good. Their offense played good. And it just came down to who had the ball last. And unfortunately, the Chargers did, and they pull out a close victory there. But looking into it, going into week 15, we are 9-4. That's still a good record. And I'll take that record at 9-4 based on our schedule. But the very next game, we have to go on the road to play the Buffalo Bills. And I'm just going to tell you guys this, it's going to be really hard for me to predict the Dolphins beating a Bills team until I actually see it. I know as Dolphin fans, you know this is as good as me. It feels like forever since we've beat the Bills, at least, and we get swept every year, it seems, in recent memory against the Bills, and we really haven't had an answer for Josh Allen at all. Even when I think the only loss the Bills had against the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, was Josh Allen's rookie year. But even in that game, even when Josh Allen wasn't good, he was really inaccurate. Teams were able to take advantage of that. He still played pretty well against, I think, almost beat us, but we ended up beating. They didn't make a play at the end, and our defense held up, and and we won that game. But even in that game, it was close. So I mean, until we beat them, I'm always gonna say the Dolphins are gonna fall short. I'm not gonna say we're gonna be getting blown out like we have in recent memory, but because the teams are just so closely matched, and I think at the end of the day, I mean, it's gonna come down in these games with the Bills to the quarterback play. And as of right now, I mean, there should be no argument. Josh Allen is a more proven commodity at the quarterback position than our quarterback. Their defense is going to be stout. Our defense is going to be stout. It's going to be a late December game in Orchard Park, and we haven't seen our Dolphins play a good cold weather game in a couple years. For example, the Titans game last year. If you want even more of an example, against the Bills late in the year, 2 years ago, when we had a chance to make the playoffs, both those games, our teams didn't show up. And I expect more of the same in week 15 there. I feel it'll be a closer game, but I think the Bills will beat us 27-17. That will move our record to 9-5. So we're on a little bit of a losing streak. We need to get kind of on a roll here, especially in the AFC if we want to make a run at these playoffs. 9-5 is still respectable, but we need to get a couple wins coming forward. And then this is why I said the beginning of the schedule, if you watch my part 1 of the series to the part 4 right now, I think the first 4 weeks of this season is crucial, because if you look at it, the last 5 games that I've just pointed out, in the part 3, the 49ers, and then we started off this with the Chargers, the Bills, and now week 16, a home matchup on Christmas Day against the Green Bay Packers, but it is at home. In this game, I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers lost his best weapon that he's had in 8+ years with Devontae Adams, but Aaron Rodgers is still an all-time great quarterback. They have a great offensive line. They can control the clock with their running game because they have they have Aaron Jones and they got A.J. Dillon. Those 2 running backs are monsters, and they don't even need to control the clock because Aaron Rodgers is so good of a quarterback. But if they wanted to against his defense to kind of wear him out, get him tired, smash him in the mouth with some run game, and then hit him over top with play action with Aaron Rodgers, this is going to be a really tough matchup for our defense no matter how good it is. In this game, we're really going to need our offense to show that they have grown leaps and bounds from the last few years. If our offense comes to play this game, it's in South Florida. We have no excuses. It's not going to be cold. Everything's going to be there for the taking. If we win this game, we're in a really good spot to make the playoffs. The Packers are always there with the coaching staff they have, with Aaron Rodgers they have. Even if they have no receivers right now, he's gonna grow chemistry with some guys out there that he has, and I believe they're gonna be pretty good, especially with the reports out there that Odell Beckham's going to Green Bay. If Odell Beckham goes to Green Bay, if it's not official yet, we better watch out, because Aaron Rodgers and Odell Beckham would be a scary tandem. But I feel that at this point of the year, I feel our offense is going to have the grasp of Mike McDaniel's playbook. In this game, we're going to see Mike McDaniel, in my opinion. I always say in my opinion because, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, I'm not an expert on the matter, but I'm just believing it. And I in my opinion, this is what I think's going to happen. I think Mike McDaniel at this time is going to have the offense rolling on all cylinders, or close to all cylinders as he's going to have. Our defense is going to be able to slow down Aaron Rodgers with some blitz packages. We might get burned over the top a couple times just because Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. I've seen him live once, and I was blown away how good he is. And just week in and week out, he's pretty consistent. He hardly ever turns the ball over. But I feel we're going to be able to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers with the blitz packages. He's going to get confused a couple plays with the zero blitz and either throw the ball away or he's going to get sacked. He really, at his older age, doesn't like to get hit as much anymore, but I think we're going to get him a couple times. Our offense is going to show the improvements it is. Tyreek Hill's going to, even though the Green Bay defense is pretty good, lights out, I think Tyreek Hill's going to go off on a couple crossing routes, as well as Jalen Waddle, and the Miami Dolphins are going to have a huge statement win at home against the Green Bay Packers late in the year, and it's going to move their record to 10-5. With 2 weeks to go, their record's 10-5, which is a good position to be in, with the next two games being AFC East rivals. And in week 17, we're going on the road against the New England Patriots. We already beat them once this year, in my opinion. We're 10-5. This is going to be pretty much an elimination game for. It could be an elimination game depending on the AFC for both teams. They're going to be both playing for something, in my opinion, at this point in the year. But something about, even though Bill Belichick's a legend, one of the best coaches that we've ever seen coach, man, Tua Tagovailoa has his number for some reason. He's one of the very few quarterbacks that are young quarterbacks that give Bill Belichick fits, or Bill Belichick has not figured it out, which is just shocking to me, in my opinion. I mean, he's even made Justin Herbert look like a average quarterback when they played him. A couple years ago, I don't know if you remember, guys, when they beat the Chargers by like 38 points, just made them look silly. And Tua continually beats Bill Belichick, and I don't see it changing. Our talent has got so much better than the Patriots, kind of stayed the same. Tyreek Hill's going to have a field day. Jalen Waddle's going to have a field day. Our defense is going to confuse Mac Jones a couple times. We're going to get 1 or 2 picks. We're going to have 2 or 3 sacks. They're going to be coming from behind. And Mac Jones is going to throw some picks because he has to force it because they're losing by 14 points. I don't see the Patriots beating us again this year. I think Tua's going to show his dominance, and Mike Gesicki is going to go off in the seam routes. We're just going to have too many weapons for that New England Patriots defense for 4 quarters. And we're either going to eliminate the Patriots for playoff contention, or they're going to be hanging on by a thread after this game. I think this is going to be a huge game, though, for both teams. But, yes, I see us coming out on top. I think it's going to be a 28-17 victory for the Miami Dolphins. I just think our firepower is too much for the Patriots defense to overcome, and then Mac Jones, like I said, he's going to have to force things late in the game, and I think we get 1 or 2 picks off of him and pretty much seal the game with the defense. I mean, it's just real quick. It's just crazy to believe that the Miami Dolphins have been so dominant over the Patriots with the young quarterback, because it doesn't happen with the Bill Belichick coach teams. He always owns rookie quarterbacks or young quarterbacks, but for some reason the Dolphins have had the Patriots number for the last couple of years. And then we finish off, we are 11-5, and we finish off with one of our AFC rivals at home against the New York Jets. I know the New York Jets, like I said in the previous series, or the previous part, they're an up-and-coming team. They had a really good draft. They have a really good mixture of veterans and young people. So I think they're going to make some noise this year. They're going to beat teams that they shouldn't have beat. But this ain't the week, guys. Miami Dolphins at home, 11-5, looking to cement their spot in the playoffs. They just have to beat the New York Jets week 18. Miami's going to roll them. We're going to beat them probably by 18 points. I think it's going to be like 31-17 or 31. It's either going to be 31-17 or 31-20. Miami Dolphins are going to get into the playoffs. We're going to have a 12-5 record after we look at the overall part of the schedule. I believe Tua's going to have a successful year. I'm not going to be hating on our quarterback right now that he hasn't even took a snap. He's going to play a lot better than he has his first 2 years. He has a lot more weapons. We're going to have a better line, offensive line than Tua's ever had in the league. So I feel, guys, that our record's going to be 12-5 at the end of the day, and we're going to get into a wild card spot. And let's see what we can do, baby. But we'll finally taste some playoffs for the first time in a long time, and hopefully it's a continued playoff run, not just a one and done type of thing. But like I said, guys, I believe our record after dissecting this schedule, we're going to finish off at 12-5. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, what you think our record's going to be. But like I said, I believe it's going to be a 12-5 record. But other than that, guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you all for joining and taking part of this 4-part series. And I really appreciate all the continued support. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, guys. Please, please, please. Thank you guys so much for the support. And fins up. I'm out. Peace.